We are here at a day in the sun with Back to Back, and I'm joined with the lovely Aisha. Do you want to tell us a bit about yourself?
I'm Aisha. My real name is Rosie. Aisha is my middle name. 29. From Aberdeen originally, but I came to Glasgow when I was 14. And I'm a techno DJ.
Yes.
And producer.
And a doof maker.
I'm a fucking doof maker. Are you allowed to swear on this, by the way?
Yes, you are.
Okay,
You're more than
I'm a
welcome
doof
to.
maker. I like the doof.
I love it. So how did you get started out in music? Because I mean, you only came onto the scene a couple of years ago, but you've already gone so far.
I think it was like a natural progression. Like, obviously I started going to nights like Pressure, and then I started PRing for them, and then through that I I got an internship at Soma, and then all my best pals ran a night called Lunacy. So I think everyone that I was like around me was DJing and producing, so I think naturally I was like, oh, I'll have a go at that. And then I just started to like mix on vinyl first, and then eventually moved on to CDJs. And yeah, it's just been a natural progression because it's been a passion of mine for like decades. So it's like, natural progression. Yeah.
Who were those early influences then? If you've been into dance music for this long, who's kind of your like sound influences? People used to see
Darren Styles. No. I mean, he was an early influence. Come
DJ
on.
Bad Boy.
A bit of the HTID, DJ Rankin. Come on, we all love it.
Yes.
A bit of the Scottish culture. I think I was into all that when I was younger, and then I got into like house, and then I just fell in love with techno, like. Just fast music. I think, you know what's quite funny is that like hardcore music is like 170 BPM.
Yeah.
And that's what I started off at. And then I went down into techno, and then now I'm starting to like push the
Climb back
BPM limits up again. So I'm then listening to the old BAM beats now again as well for a bit of nostalgia. So.
Well, your last few releases have been like really hard hitting. So we had The Fall, and now you've got Sunna, which is again with Quail as well. So it's your third co-produced one together, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep. So it's our third EP together. It's a really good working relationship, and the BPM keeps going up with each release that we do as well.
A wee bit more.
And then I've got my first solo EP coming out in July, August.
Oh, wicked.
And that's about 148. So I was like, I want to kind of produce what like I'm kind of playing at just now as well. So yeah, I've learned a lot from working with Quail, definitely, because he's been like producing and DJing and stuff for so long. So I'm lucky to have like had someone there to like get our ideas together, and then now I'm able to like make my own tunes. So
I love that. So can you tell us a bit about the EP that's coming out then, your solo one?
So it's coming out on a German label called Dreck Records, who are from Magdeburg in Germany, and they asked me if I had any tracks, and I was like, I don't actually have any techno tracks because I was trying to make electro at the time, and then I was like, if you give me a deadline, I'll see what I can do. They give me a 2-month deadline. I was like, right, I'm going to get on it all over Christmas. I was like making the tunes, and I just set my mind to it, and I sent them 3 tracks, and they were like, we like all of them, let's take them.
Oh, perfect.
So it's going to get a remix from techno producer Joe Farr as well, and they're pressing it out on vinyl. So I was like, are you sure you want to do vinyl? Are you sure? They're like, listen, like we're invested in it.
Don't question it. If they're saying vinyl, go
I
vinyl.
know. But I'm really looking forward to that coming out. And it's going to be called Energy EP, because we all need some uplifting energy these days. Anyway.
Your tracks do not lack energy. The ones of Quail, anyway, you guys go for it. So when you guys are working together, how does it work? Like co-producing? Do you kind of bat it between each other? Do you get in the studio together? What's the
so we make sure to get in the studio together. Like it makes such a difference. Like I've tried to do the back and forth thing, but it just gets really complicated. Try to like bounce out all the stems and then put them on a Dropbox. Like, see if you're just in the studio together. We both work together at Soma, so we both have quite similar music taste and like techno taste. Yeah. So I'm quite I like play piano and stuff, so I kind of got the I get to be synthed out and do like the synth lines and make sure everything's in key and like. Yeah, and then he does like the drums and the drum patterns because that's what he's good at. So It works out quite well. And we've both got similar, I mean, we're DJing together now, so we've both got similar tune taste as well. So it's good to bounce back off each other. I inject a bit of the bamminess into it as well, which she needs.
Well, it's funny. So you mentioned you guys DJing together. One of your big highlights this summer is going to be the return of the fucking slam tent.
I know,
How are
man.
you feeling? I mean, obviously you work with Soma. The office must have gone fucking mental when that came out.
I know. It was just like the slam tent. I just think it's going to be like the Saturday that I'm playing. Like, it's just going to be wild. Like, I'm so glad that I'm also playing with up-and-coming producers like Lisa Loof and Neoma. Like, they've just released on Soma as well. So it's good to support fresh up-and-coming Scottish techno talent, because I think that's one thing that's missing is Glasgow likes techno, but it doesn't really like have its own sound yet, and it doesn't appreciate it's or cater to its. We like to fly people over here.
Yeah, but if you look at homegrown,
and if you look at cities like Copenhagen, Paris, Berlin, they all have their own sounds, and they have now like class resident DJs. And I think that's what Scotland needs to be pushing now. Now, once the pandemic finishes, I think we need to appreciate, like, we've got some sick producers, DJs here. So it's good to look inwards and then build up that community, and hopefully people will be like, put Glasgow on the map for
who are you loving around Glasgow at the moment then, techno-wise?
Techno-wise, obviously, as I said, like Lisa Loof, Neoma, like Nightwave, Miranda, DJ Void. There's so many actual female techno DJs at the moment as well, and that's so refreshing to see. Like, when I started, there really wasn't that many playing like quite mental techno when I first started, and then now it's so good to see like the younger like 21-year-olds and all that coming in and like bashing out the techno. So
I mean, I'm 21, eh?
the young
I'm coming along. I'm coming to join you in Glasgow for a night out.
But it's so refreshing to see, and I'm just so happy. And I really think in the next few years, like, we're gonna have some like absolutely class resident DJs becoming, you know, bringing people from outside Glasgow to come in and see them.
Definitely. Could you see yourself taking on your own night?
I mean, I do Animal Farm. I'm a resident.
Yeah, you're one of the residents for them, aren't you?
Once the nights start coming back, I'll be able to work with him on getting people to come over and start to play. And obviously, we want to host like local nights and stuff. So I think it's good to have an input with that. And we're definitely going to be up in the tempo when things come back as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
so how did the residency with DJ, the Animal Farm, come about?
I think because at the time, like, Darren was just doing it on his own, and we were already working together, and then we first started producing together. So again, it was just a natural kind of thing. He was like, "Do you want to be a resident Animal Farm?" I was like, "Aye."
Fuck aye.
Aye. Like, obviously, have like basically a residency at Sub Club. Like, fucking right. So, I was stoked to be asked, and I think it's going to be a good partnership for sure.
Wicked. Now, we're talking about clubbing, and I heard for a wee birdie, who I'll tell you off camera who this birdie is,
oh God,
that you have an interesting encounter with somebody with a foot fetish in a club.
Oh my God. Yes, yeah. I was at a certain club in Berlin, and obviously me and my cousin, we'd been dancing for fuck knows how long, like 12 hours, maybe more, 12 hours straight.
Our count is gone.
We're like, went upstairs, and then a guy was like, "Oh, do you want a foot massage?" And then my cousin was like, "I fucking would love a foot massage." And she's like, "I don't care, anything goes in here." She's like, "If you want to massage my feet, that's exactly what I need right now." And then I was like, "How perfect!" And I was messaging my pals like, "Oh, by the way, like, you'll never guess what we're up to right now." And then they were like, "Right, that is perfect. Like, if you've been clubbing for 12 hours, go upstairs to the foot fetish guy, get a wee foot massage." And then I was sitting down, like, just watching her enjoy herself, and then not enjoy herself too much.
No.
Just
Within reason.
within
She's got to say her
reason.
feet. It had to be done.
And then I was sitting there, and the guy came up to me. He's like, "Oh, can I lick your boot?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, can I lick your boot?" And I was like, "Oh, fuck it. You know what? If you want to lick my boot, man, go ahead." Proceeds to lie down and like lick the bottom of my boot. Like,
What?
and I was like, I think I'm going to go up and have a dance now. But I'm not a fetish shamer. If that's what you're into, mate, then that's fine. You can do that. I just think,
Oh my God.
obviously, you wouldn't probably get that in Glasgow as much as you would when you're travelling.
No, I mean, yeah, Berlin's a totally different scene. What's your experience has been over there?
Well, I don't know how much I
Other
can say
than
on
the
camera,
fetish.
but I just like the freedom.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's complete freedom, even just to like drink on the street. I know you can do it in Edinburgh, but like,
Yeah.
cafes open till whenever. Like the food over there is amazing. It's just such a once you go over there's a reason why it's so popular, and they're probably fucking sick of the tourists, the Scottish tourists especially.
Yeah.
But it's got its reputation for a reason, and I love going over there. And I was going to play there before the pandemic hit
really?
as well.
Oh,
yeah, I was going to play Hoor, which is the bathroom kind of live stream thing. And then I was going to play with Darren as Animal Farm, but then the pandemic hit. But hopefully we'll get back there.
Exactly.
soon.
Back,
Aye.
and this time you can go across there with your own solo stuff. You've got the new stuff coming out.
That's true. It's going to be fucking wild as well once things go back
It'd be
to normal.
amazing.
Yeah.
Any clubs over there you specifically know, what you like, the Panorama Bar, these sorts of things? Anything sticks out?
I mean, obviously Burkine, because I
Yeah.
work from Soma as well. Like, I managed to like get guest list for it, which is like, I'm like,
That's
"Thank
cool."
Fuck, I just got to skip that queue, man. I'm like, I could
Perks
not.
of the job.
I could. You walk by them and you can see everyone giving you dirty looks. Like, oh, fuck them, and I'm like, sorry.
You're like, I'm
guys.
sorry, I am that cunt.
I know. I walk in with my shades. Like, what are you gonna do? And then there's so many like good wee clubs as well there.
Yeah.
Like, they really thrive off the queer community is really like pushing what good nights are. Like, you're gonna have a good night at the queer nights there. So it's just good that they have that again, openness and kind of freedom to kind of do what you want, which needs to be injected into Glasgow, I think.
Yeah.
A bit.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're maybe going in the right steps, but it needs a push. Do you know what I mean? Like,
It needs a push, and
Yeah.
especially like supporting more of the queer nights started in Glasgow, because they're the ones that I go to, like Weirdo Warehouse, and that's quite similar to what you get over there. It's like
Yeah.
freedom of expression, like complete safe spaces as well to be in. So I think hopefully once the pandemic is over, we should be supporting these grassroots queer nights more, because that's really. They fucking made clubbing what it is today,
Yeah.
so we should be looking to them for like, that's kind of what a good night out is.
Yeah, I know, just the vibe and the atmosphere. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, it's that kind of like free spirited, just not giving a fuck, just there for the music. No bullshit along the side.
Yeah, and ensuring that everyone there feels comfortable and safe is such a big thing. Like, to feel truly free, that you're not gonna get, perved on or whatever. Like, that's what they're pushing just now as well. So I think, it's important for the future to look to them.
I mean, when it comes back to that, it's the essence of dance music, isn't it? It's just about an expression. It's just about going out, no worries, letting go, releasing.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So we touched on, we've got obviously Slam Tent, hopefully coming up this summer. You've got your solo release. Sorry. What else have you got coming up the rest of the year? What have you got plans?
I've got some gigs. I don't want to say too much right now, 'cause it's like we don't know. Like, is it going to happen?
Will
Is it
it?
not
Won't
going to
it?
happen?
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got Riverside Festival coming up.
That will be wicked.
Which is going to be sick. Honestly,
Line up
I
is
just can't
insane,
wait.
and the
I
after
know.
party.
Aye, the after party as well. It's usually such a long day, but it's going to be good fun. And got some gigs lined up at SWG3, some potentially in Dundee and in Edinburgh as well. So I'm just fingers crossed that it happens. Yeah.
Wicked. But that sounds amazing.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being behind the decks, but I keep having like recurring nightmares.
Really?
That I can't DJ anymore, and I'm like in front of the crowd, and I'm like trying to like, and then like the track runs out, and then everyone's like
Shit.
standing there, and I'm like, but I'm sure so many other DJs are having the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
am I gonna be able to do it when I go back?
There will be those like pre-show nerves, but I bet see once you're behind there, you've got the crowd going, you'll just like, it'll be like second nature to you, won't it?
And plus, even if you fuck up or whatever, it's like nobody will give a fuck.
No,
Do you know what I
everyone's
mean?
just buzzing to be back out.
Exactly.
You can play whatever you want, they're just like, cool, yeah, we're here,
Yeah.
we're happy, we're having a good time, getting the atmosphere going, and yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna.
I'm
be
sure it'll be
class.
good. Well, all the best to you, and
you.
hopefully we catch up with you again soon.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having
Wicked.
me. Thank
Right,
you.
yeah.